In previous mock drafts on the channel, I've tried to replicate what I believe Joe Douglas and the New York Jets are going to do on draft night. But in this video, with only having a month left until the NFL draft, I'm going to be selfish and I'm going to give you what I would do if I were the man in charge. 7-round mock draft coming at you. Let's go ahead and let's get after it. Before I get into the video, if I could get you to please jet up the like button, and if you're new here and you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. I do want to let you know we'll be live this upcoming Wednesday night, and we'll be joined by special guest Matt O'Leary. He's going to sit down with us, talk Jets off season, and the link for that stream will be in the description. One last piece of information before I get to the mock. I am going to be giving away a free jersey for the NFL draft. And all you have to do to be qualified is be a subscriber to the channel. It's just a small way of me thanking you for being so loyal and supportive over the last year. So without any more time being wasted, let's go ahead and let's get to that mock draft. Round 1, pick 4, I have the New York Jets selecting cornerback Ahmad Sauce Gardner out of Cincinnati. He's 6'3", 190 pounds, ran a 4.4 40-yard dash. And, based on what I've been reading, what I've been watching, and my good friend James Wighouse from Jets X Factor, this guy really does check all of the boxes in regards to playing outside cornerback in the National Football League. Size, speed, length. The length is very, very good. Long arms, nearly 33-inch arms. And again, this is not just a tall, fast guy. He has great ball skills, can make plays on the football. The thing that I noticed when I've, been watching and when I've been reading about him is that some of his man coverage situations, he's obviously very good still, but he does need to clean up his aggressiveness, and some coaching will go a long way in being able to clean that up. I don't think it's something that's very concerning for him. And we saw him in the college football playoffs lining up against Jameson Williams and really doing a hell of a job matching up against one of the best wide receivers in the entire country, if not the best in the entire country. So I feel really good about getting Sauce Gardner. And again, if you can get that pass rush burning, this is a guy that has elite outside cornerback ability. And I get that some people think that Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh are not going to place an emphasis on getting a guy like that. But I think we've seen in our own division, let alone the AFC, there are some dominant wide receivers out there, guys. In our division alone, we have to guard against Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, and then the AFC is just a nightmare. It's just all over the place. There are elite wide receivers. So I feel like if we're going to have success in the long haul, we really do need to go ahead and get our number 1 cornerback and match that up with a hellacious pass rush. Round 1, pick 10, I have the New York Jets selecting Jermaine Johnson, edge rusher out of FSU, 6'5", 260 pounds, ran a 4.58 40-yard dash. The 10-yard split is excellent, so the athleticism and the size are premier. And I think that this is a guy that's just one of my favorite edge rushing prospects in the class. I have no problems with taking him at number 10. And I just feel like he's one of those guys that will be able to play and will be able to start day one on this defense. He's got a really good football IQ. The motor is super high, and he's going to really fill that philosophy of all gas, no brake. And you talk about the hand counters, the pass rush moves. He is not a one-trick pony defensive end. He can also defend the run really well. I think all in all, guys, I think this would be a really nice combo of getting that number 1 cornerback and getting your edge prospect. I'm still not really sure I buy into all of the hype that Kayvon Thibodeaux is going to slip out of the top 3. I still suspect that he will get drafted and Aiden Hutchinson will go. So I feel like this is a great route to take. And again, overall, our defense is going to be so much better. Trade alert! The New York Jets are trading up from number 35 overall all the way up to the New Orleans Saints 18th overall pick. The Jets are going to send number 35, number 69, which is a 3rd round pick, and they're also going to send a future 3rd round pick in the trade up. It checks out on the draft value chart. The Jets and the Saints would be getting a fair deal, and I do think that it makes sense for the Saints. They're getting more picks, And quite honestly, they don't have a third round pick in this draft. So it helps them to be able to retool this roster after losing some really, really important pieces over the last couple of years. And with that being said, round 1, pick 18, I have the New York Jets selecting wide receiver Jameson Williams out of Alabama. This is one of my favorite wide receivers in the draft class and likely would have been wide receiver 1 if it had not been for the ACL injury that he incurred in the college football playoffs. And let's just start right there with the elephant in the room. I get it, there's a risk, but I do want to remind you that that risk is there for all of these players. It doesn't matter if they have a perfect, clean bill of health throughout college football. They can all get hurt. And so I understand that there's risk involved with drafting Jameson Williams, but I do want to remind you that that risk remains in any player that you select. And there's a ton of upside in drafting Jameson Williams. He's 6'2", 190 pounds, and has speed that can absolutely kill NFL defenses and will keep defensive coordinators up at night trying to scheme ways to contain this guy. He is a great route runner. He is great with rack ability. He can catch the ball short and go the distance. So I think that when you're talking about what do the Jets need? Well, they need help on the offensive side. They need weapons for Zach Wilson. And what better way than to get a wide receiver that can absolutely burn you all over the football field? And that's what Jameson Williams can do. I still think that, based on what I'm reading and what I'm hearing, Jameson Williams will be healthy for the 2022 season. And again, you're not drafting him with the idea that he has to be healthy in September or else it's a failed draft pick. If it took him an extra month, I am willing to do that to get the best wide receiver talent-wise in the draft class. And again, ultimately, you're not sitting there saying, because he won't be ready, you're not willing to draft him early. I think that's kind of foolish. It's being short-sighted. The long-term plan for the New York Jets is to become a winner for a long time, and I can't see how Jameson Williams could not be a part of Zach Wilson and this offense really tearing up defenses in the National Football League. Round 2, pick 38, I have the New York Jets selecting safety Jaquan Brisker out of Penn State. He's 6'1", 200 pounds, and ran just under a 4.5 40-yard dash. Good size, good speed, positional versatility. He's going to be able to play free safety or strong safety in this defense. And again, ultimately, he has a lot of ability, in range and being able to make plays all over the football field. He can cover all over the place, and ball skills are there for sure as well. I think he's going to be able to make plays on the football. After addressing getting some edge rushers in the draft, I think you're going to see our defense really turn the script here. We're going to have young guys in the back end getting their hands on the football. And again, Jaquan Brisker, you're going to pair him up with Jordan Whitehead and the veteran LaMarcus Joyner. I think you can have a nice rotation there. And then you have some good depth as well. You've got Jason Pinnock, potentially Ashton Davis if he's able to make the team. All in all, though, I think it's very important that we get younger and faster on defense, and this pick accomplishes just that. Round 4, pick 111, I have the New York Jets selecting offensive tackle Rasheed Walker out of Penn State, 6'6", over 310 pounds, has the size, has the frame to really excel at the position, and his hand technique is excellent. Really, really good use of his hands, strong hands, can kind of move these defensive linemen wherever he wants, long arms, and he has good lateral mobility. This is a guy that's going to fit the scheme, and I want to make sure that it's crystal clear here. I'm not drafting him to replace George Fant this year. I'm not drafting him because I think Mekhi Becton stinks. I'm drafting this kid so he can sit and he can learn. I think we need to stop getting used to the idea of having rookies constantly in the lineup. Rasheed Walker could absolutely develop into a starter in the National Football League with the New York Jets. But I think that it's one of those moves that you draft him as a backup for year 1, and then year 2, if the Jets decide to part ways with George Fant, you've got a kid that has a familiarity with the offense, and he's been with the team for a year, and then that point, you can go ahead and plug him in. I think that he will offer a lot for this Jets offense for protecting Zach Wilson and opening up some running lanes. Good depth, great draft pick. Round 4, pick 117, I have the New York Jets selecting Channing Tindall, linebacker from Georgia. He's 6'2", 223 pounds, and the kid can fly. 4.4 40-yard dash at the combine. So there's some concern, is he a workout warrior? Well, the truth is that he didn't see the field a lot in this Georgia defense. He had linebackers playing ahead of him, Quay Walker, Nakobe Dean. But when the kid was on the field, he showed all that athleticism, sound tackling technique, and really decent coverage ability as well. The question marks come with him are, is he going to be able to transition and be able to deconstruct blocks at the next level? I do think that he has the size and the speed ability. But again, ultimately, this is one of those mid-round, linebackers that I think that Jeff Ulbrich could coach and get playing really good football for the Jets. This is also one of those insurance policies right now. Really, when you think about the linebacking core for the New York Jets, we've got C.J. Mosley, we've got Quincy Williams, and then we've got those two rookies from the 2021 draft class, Jermaine Sherwood and Hamza Nasruddin, both of which are coming off of injury-marred seasons in their rookie year. I think getting Channing in the mid-rounds here makes a lot of sense, and he could play special teams as well. And hopefully the ideal scenario is that he doesn't have to play year one, can play special teams, and Jermaine Sherwood and Hamza Nasruddin continue to develop and really get stronger. Depth and special teams matter, and that's what this draft pick would ultimately be in the mid-rounds. Round 5, pick 146, I have the New York Jets selecting Cole Turner, tight end out of Nevada, 6'6", 246 pounds, and ran a 4.7 40-yard dash. Size, speed, extremely strong hands, and long arms. In year one, I want to emphasize to you that this is going to be we're going to use him kind of like the Miami Dolphins do with Mike Gesicki. This is a guy that you can split out wide, you can put him in the slot, and again, he can do a little bit of inline blocking in year one, but preferably you let CJ Uzomah do that and Tyler Conklin do that job. And again, you're drafting him for situational football in the red zone. And again, in some situations where you can free him up one-on-one, let him run down the middle of the football field. I think Zach Wilson would really love having a tight end like him in the offense. And down the road, CJ Uzomah's contract is only 2 years. By the end of that contract, I think this kid could develop into an all-around tight end, not just the receiver, also a blocker. I think it's crazy to think that this guy can't become a good blocker in the National Football League. I think he's got all of the, the size and strength ability. It just needs a little bit of development, a little bit of coaching. Love the pick in round 5. I think it's an absolute home run. And with the final pick, round 5, pick 163, I have the New York Jets selecting defensive lineman Matthew Butler out of Tennessee. He's 6'4", 300 pounds, has some good athleticism and versatility on the interior, can play the 3 or the 5 technique. And I do think that the New York Jets coaching staff values not just big fat guys on the inside. I think they really do want guys that can get after the quarterback. And Matthew Butler does have some upside in the pass rushing department. Lots of good use of his hands. His arms are a little bit shorter, so he's going to need some coaching to overcome that. But I do think that for year one, he's going to be able to compete with Jonathan Marshall to get into the rotation and will provide depth for this defensive line. So all in all, I really like the draft class that I put together here, but I do want you guys to let me know if you loved it or if you hated it. I can handle it. The criticism will not bother me. I look forward to reading and responding to all of your comments. I thank you very, very much for watching this video. Hope you all have a great day. Go Jets, and I'll see you guys next time.